Hey, welcome to Still Up at 6. I was doing a little, instead of my drumming, I was doing a little piano.
Piano this time. Welcome back. Yeah, we had a couple of days off from Still Up, but we're back better than ever. We got our mugs. Look at these.
Yeah, we got our Still Up with 6 mugs here. I'll cheers a little bit here on the show. Cheers. Yeah, we have a lot to talk about today as we wait for a couple of you to join the conversation. Good morning to you, Francis. Thank you guys for joining our conversation. Our megaphone question of the day, our talker of the day that we asked people to vote in. It was surprisingly an overwhelming majority one-sided.
It was, yeah, and I think it's because it's due to a couple of different things. If you didn't watch the show this morning, we were asking if it's time to bring our troops home from Afghanistan. Of course, they've been there for 18 plus years, and it was something that I think hit close to home for a lot of people in our viewing area because of how big our Fort Hood community is here, our military community, and the families, of course, with our military community. And I think that it's such a tough topic to discuss because, you think about all the sacrifices that were made during this war.
Yeah, and you mentioned sacrifices, and it's a question that's right now hitting close to home, and it's on the forefront of our minds as we have 2 soldiers with Central Texas ties that have recently lost their lives in Afghanistan. A lot of people, despite the loss of lives, say that the job's not done, but the majority of people this morning that were voting, 82%, as you can see right there, said it's time. And it's been close to 2 decades, billions and billions and billions of dollars spent. And you mentioned that poll. A lot of veterans say it's time too.
Yeah, if you guys missed this last week, we discussed this on the show. There was a new poll from the Pew Research Center. They interviewed 1,300 veterans and asked them what they thought on the wars that we fought, both the Iraq and the Afghanistan war. 58% said that the fight in Afghanistan was not worth it. I mean, that's a big number when you think about the people who were polled. Of course, this was just 1,300 veterans, and I'm sure that number would obviously change if more people were involved and asked on their opinion. Just this year alone, 12 members killed. 12 members of our military were killed in Afghanistan. And you said 2 right here, Central Texas ties. Just yesterday, a candlelight vigil was held for Sergeant Major James Sarter, and he was brought back to Teague, and it's tough. It's tough when you hear about the deaths too.
Yeah, and I know here on Still Up with 6, we've had a couple military, either former or active military, weigh in on our talker of the day, especially when it comes to issues with the military. And a couple of people pointed out on our Facebook that the people who are most qualified to say whether or not this is still a viable mission over there would be the people who are part of our armed forces.
Yeah, it really is time. And Thomas agrees, saying it's time to pull out. And take not just that, but also look at our southern border, not just our northern border, take care of home before we take care of other nations. So Thomas is saying, yeah, we need to come back here, bring our troops back, improve our system in the United States, and then possibly go back out and deal with other countries.
Yeah, of course, defense spending is a big topic of discussion anytime situations like this come up. And, it's now surpassed the Vietnam War for the longest war in U.S. history. And that's, if you think about that in the scale of, we're talking about generations here. We're talking about, close to 2 decades of people coming and going from Afghanistan, lives lost, money spent. So a lot of people think that's the way to go. Let's see what Ronnie is saying this morning. Pulling the troops from Afghanistan is long overdue. Should have never been over there in the first place. Kind of a sentiment shared by a few people that we've seen on our Facebook this morning. Yeah,
I think a lot of people can echo that and say, what was the point of going there in the first place? I know I've seen that a couple of times in our comments section as well. It is tough. It is, especially because it's still happening. It's not like we're still asking after 18 years, should we pull our military troops out of Afghanistan? I mean, to think that it's been that long, like you said, this spans over generations now. I remember when we sent our first batch of troops to Afghanistan, and time has passed really, and like you said, many generations are now seeing the effects of it and seeing the impact it's having on our nation, our military families, our military community, especially when we are losing soldiers.
Yeah, absolutely. So continue weighing in on that, and we'll probably revisit it here in a couple of moments if we get more comments or more thoughts on that. Let's go to something a little more uplifting.
Yep.
We're talking Hot Dog Day.
Hot Dog Day, National Hot Dog Day, and of course, when it comes to hot dogs, we always have to ask, is it going to be ketchup or mustard?
And I'm going to go with neither. I'm going to go with a little bit of cheese, a little bit of bacon bits.
Cheese and bacon bits. I was expecting relish and onions.
Really?
Well, I don't know. This is like, you think about the classic toppings, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I don't think I've ever seen anybody eat a hot dog with cheese and bacon bits, honestly.
What?
Yeah.
Do you live in America? That's a real, that's a popular, that's a common thing to have. Now, it's surprising that the National Hot Dog Day is not on the 4th of July, but tell us what you guys prefer in your hot dogs. Maybe you don't prefer hot dogs at all. I know that's your preference. No hot dogs. Get those hot dogs out, even if it's an all beef, some of the nicer ones.
No, I'm just not a big hot dog fan. And if you have been following us here on the show, both mornings and evenings, we had a hot dog challenge last year, and I couldn't even stomach half a hot dog.
Yeah, you really didn't pull your weight for the morning show. That was
sorry, guys.
Certainly a tough look for us here in the morning show.
You guys let us know where's your favorite hot dog, where's it sold. You guys are really good usually at telling us the best places to get the best foods here in Central Texas. Ronnie eats his with coleslaw. So
yeah,
like you
she
put
eats
coleslaw?
hers with coleslaw. Yeah, absolutely. So I've never tried that. Now I've heard of peanut butter.
No.
I've heard peanut butter.
From one person.
Have you guys heard of this? Have you guys tried a hot dog with peanut butter? You can't just say you don't like something if you've never tried it.
I think the thought of mixing peanut butter with a hot dog just does not sound appealing to me.
I've tried it with a hamburger and it wasn't that bad.
That's true. That is getting more popular, I will say.
Yeah.
At burger joints, they're starting to experiment with peanut butter. What other weird toppings have I seen? I'm trying to think.
You get the creamy in with the cheese and a little bit of the crunch. It's very nice.
Portobello mushrooms, the cheese, yeah. Did you know that Americans spend 1 billion pounds, or get 1 billion pounds per year of hot dog?
That seems like a lot of hot dogs.
It's a lot of hot dogs.
Well, it's a very cheap food, right? And so you can kind of, if you have a big gathering of people, you buy just hundreds of hot dogs, just throw them on the grill. They're pretty easy to grill. You don't have to think about rare, medium rare. Well, you know what I mean? Well done. You just kind of toss them.
There is a way on if you like it crispy, really burnt.
Yeah, but they're already cooked. So
that's true. That's a good point. 7-Eleven, if you guys are interested today, they're going to have a $1 hot dog deal. So grab a hot dog.
$1 hot dog deal. So that's not a bad. I don't know if I'm trusting a $1 hot dog. I'm going to be completely honest with you.
I mean, they're not that expensive to buy, even if you get them from the store.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about Harry Styles, right? Because he just missed out on Elvis.
Yes. So here this is. What do you guys think of this? Do you guys see him playing this role of Prince Eric in the new live-action Little Mermaid film that's coming out? He apparently is a front-runner in talks of playing Prince Eric. Of course, he was also a front-runner. We asked you guys on the show if you thought he would be a good fit to play Elvis, but he didn't get that role. Austin Butler did.
This guy seems to be like, maybe stick to singing. He keeps trying to get roles. You know what I mean? He keeps trying to interject. He was in the movie Dunkirk, if you ever watched that. He was okay. But now he was trying to be Elvis, didn't get that. Now he's going to try to be Prince Eric. We'll see if he gets that.
Maybe he's
really trying to force an acting career here.
Well, I think maybe he's trying to find that big role that's going to really launch his acting career. Because you mentioned he was in Dunkirk, but I mean, he had like a minor role there. He wasn't one of the mains, was he?
Yeah, he was. But he had a pretty prominent role.
He did. Well, maybe he's looking for that really big, iconic role. Maybe Elvis was the role for him, but he didn't get it. Now he's hoping Prince Eric will be.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see how that's. Right now, we've only got one for sure character that's Ariel, right?
Yes, it's going to be Halle Bailey. I always try to say that slowly.
Yeah. So there she is. So you don't confuse it with Halle Berry, which is also a very close name.
It's so hard to mix up. It's so easy to mix up those names because they're so close. But yeah, I mean, she's already going to play Ariel, so that's exciting. And she has a great voice. Of course, she's going to be singing a lot of the songs. Prince Eric doesn't sing. Does he sing? We still haven't looked up. We don't really look it up.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think he was good. Jim saying Carrie was rejected for Elvis. He deserves Prince Eric.
Jim, of course, our resident One Direction fan. Everyone knows that. Loves One Direction.
Yeah.
So he's all in on it. Chris, let the man live. Can he expand his horizons? That's coming from our station page. Shots fired from my very own station of employment. So, yeah, I think he can, but he keeps getting rejected. I guess try until you can achieve, right?
Well, he already has a big name, so we know we're already talking about him. He's already a front runner. We already know he might be playing this role. So maybe this is the way he wants to go with his career.
We'll have to wait and see which direction they go.
I see what you're doing there.
Yeah.
I see what you're doing. Now you're twisting your chair there.
Now I'm twisting the chair, pulling the cover a little bit. Hey, we kind of have a still up with 6 this morning. I think people are still waking up on this Wednesday. Maybe the summer's kind of setting in a little bit. So I think we're gonna wrap things up unless you guys want to talk about anything else here on the show.
But we do want to say good morning to Patty, and Angela says she likes hers with coleslaw and chili in reference to National Hot Dog Day.
Yeah, so go out and get a hot dog today for National Hot Dog Day. Get out there, celebrate the day if you so please.
Well, that does it for Still Up with 6. But don't worry, guys. We will be back tomorrow morning on Texas Today, 4:30 to 7 a.m. And then, of course, Still Up with 6 at 7:05.